Think about your privacy. Turn off precise location.
Your iPhone is an incredible piece of tech, but the second you pull it out of the box, its default settings start making choices for you. So today, we're going to dive into the most important settings you should change right now to take back control of your privacy, your battery, and honestly, your sanity. Let's get right into it.
And that really brings us to the big question, right? Are these default settings actually working for you? Or are they quietly designed to help out app developers and data companies, usually at the expense of your own privacy and your phone's battery life? Well, we're about to find out.
So we're kicking things off with the big one, your personal data. And look, reclaiming your digital privacy isn't about being paranoid. It's about being smart and proactive. Let's check out the simple little switches that can put a serious lock on unwanted tracking.
To really get a sense of the scale we're dealing with, just look at this number. The data broker industry, the business of buying and selling your information, is worth $300 billion. That's about $1,000 for every single person in the US. Your data is the product, and it's used for way more than just ads. We're talking influencing loan rates, insurance premiums, you name it.
And one of the most valuable pieces of data an app can get from you is your precise location. This is a setting on your iPhone that lets them pinpoint where you are within a tiny 10-foot circle. Now just think about that for a minute. That's so specific, it can tell which room you're in at home or even which desk you're sitting at in your office.
And this shows you the difference perfectly. With precise location turned on, an app sees you inside that little blue dot. But when you turn it off, that circle expands into this massive kilometer-wide area. Sure, you're still on the map somewhere, but you're effectively anonymous inside that giant space. It makes it practically impossible for them to know exactly who or where you are.
And if you're thinking, oh, but my data is anonymized, so it's fine, well, think again. Researchers at MIT discovered that with just 4 random precise location points, they could uniquely identify 95% of people in a huge data set. So yeah, anonymous precise location data, it's not anonymous at all.
So how do you fix this? It's actually super simple. Just go into your settings, then privacy and security, then location services. Tap on any app in that list, and you'll see a little toggle for precise location. Just switch it off. Honestly, you should do this for pretty much every app on your phone, except for maybe navigation apps like Maps that, actually need to know exactly where you are.
All right, building on that, there's another critical switch to flip. It's in your privacy settings under tracking. By turning off Allow Apps to Request to Track, you basically tell every app no before they can even ask to follow you around the internet. It stops something like a social media app from seeing that you were just looking at a pair of shoes on a shopping site. It puts up a wall between your apps right where it ought to be.
Okay, next section. Let's talk about your battery. If you feel like your iPhone's battery just gets worse and worse with every update, you are not imagining things. All these new visual effects and hidden background processes can be silent killers for your battery life. Let's go fix them.
One of the absolute biggest culprits is something called background app refresh. When this is on, your apps are constantly waking up in the background, checking for new stuff, and just sipping away at your battery and your data, even when you're not using them. Turn it off and your apps will only update themselves when you actually open them. Don't worry, you'll still get all your notifications just fine, but you'll save a ton of power.
And here are 3 more super quick wins for a happier, healthier battery. First, set a charge limit to 90%. See, lithium-ion batteries age way faster when they're kept topped up at 100%, and this one simple change reduces that stress. Second, think about turning off clean energy charging. Some reports suggest this feature might be more about collecting data for Apple's future plans than anything else. And third, turn on reduced transparency. This just tones down some of those flashy visual effects that are always making your phone's processor work overtime.
And finally, let's just make your iPhone, less annoying to use. These default settings aren't just about privacy and battery. They really do affect how you feel using your phone every single day. Here are a few quick fixes for some of the most common frustrations.
Okay, if you've updated to iOS 18, you have definitely seen this. The Mail app now defaults to these weird categories like primary and transactions and promotions. It just makes you feel like your emails are missing when really they're just tucked away in some tab you didn't even think to check. But what most of us actually want is this, right? Just a single, simple, chronological list of every single email. It's clean, it's efficient, and it makes it way harder to miss something important that got buried in the wrong category. You just see everything as it comes in.
And the fix? It could not be easier. For real. Just open your Mail app, tap the 3 little dots in the corner, and select List View. Boom. That's it. Your inbox is back to normal.
Next up, that keyboard. You know, the clicking sounds can be annoying to people around you, but they also use up battery. And the same thing goes for the haptic feedback. That little vibration you feel with every key press is kind of satisfying, I get it, but it's powered by a tiny little motor. Each vibration is small, sure, but typed thousands of times a day and all that energy use really adds up. Turning them both off is just a simple way to get a quieter phone and a longer-lasting battery.
Now be honest, has this ever happened to you? You're up late, watching a video, you turn the volume all the way down with the side buttons, and then, the next morning, your alarm is completely silent. It's such a common and frustrating problem, and it's all because of one single default setting.
Here's the solution. Go into Settings, then Sounds and Haptics, and turn off Change with Buttons. This unlinks your volumes. What it does is it makes your side buttons only control your media, like videos and music, while your ringer and your alarm volume stay locked exactly where you set them. No more accidentally silencing yourself. It's a game changer.
So look at that. In just a few minutes, we've made some huge changes. You've stopped apps from grabbing your precise location, you've plugged some of the biggest leaks draining your battery, and you fixed some of those little daily annoyances. Bottom line, you've made your phone work for you, not the other way around.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought. We just spent a little bit of time questioning the defaults on our phones. But what about the defaults in the rest of our lives? You know, the habits, the routines, the assumptions we just accept and never think to change. What might happen if we did?
I hope you found this useful. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.